Welcome back. Welcome back. It is April 9th or so. Spring has fully commenced. You can tell by the invasive euphorbia. A lot of action's been going on in here. Transplanted this winged rose. Planted a rundo cultivar, either peppermint or candy cane. Acquired this bad boy. Season plant. This is Alstroemeria Indian Summer. And interspersed are a few ground covers like Oregon Grape and then Rubus from Taiwan. Slowly starting to move some of the containers out. Got Yucca pallida and a chocolate cosmo in there. This lovely geranium is blooming. It was pretty much evergreen this year, which is nice. I was told it was a deciduous. And here is it spreading a little bit. Kumail not, of course. Elsewhere. This is a surprise. After not being here for spring, I forgot what I planted a lot of the time. This is Lomatium dissectum. I don't know the exact species, but it's a really cool one that grows in oak chaparral woodland. I have a couple Lomatium in here that aren't too happy, and they just kind of do that every year. What else is happening here? Everything is starting to put out new growth, which is exciting. I've transplanted a few things probably should have let die, like these euphorbias. Oh, and the iris is gone. We had an iris ungularica, or Algerian iris. That is doing okay there. I also forgot about that one. We have some other things in bloom that I've shown you before. Moving downward, we have done a little gardening in here. This is that Rogue Gem, I think, from Sean. Starting to bloom. Has a lot of black spot this year. The dog is doing his part to keep the pollinators away. So exciting about this. This is a grevillea that I bought from Desert Northwest a few years ago. So it survived the nastiest winters we've had for a very long time. Some other fun things happening. A lot of the perennials are waking up. Here's another arundo that's starting to leaf out. Here you can see, I'm glad I didn't cut it back too hard this year because it's going to be big. Speaking of that, the Tetrapanax is leafing out full force right now. And I gave them a little fertilizer this year, so hopefully they'll get a little bit bigger. This lovely hellebore is still blooming, and excitingly, it is spreading around. I was just at Hortlandia outside of Portland this year, and the word on the street is there's a hellebore virus going around, which is bad. Here's a really nice fawn lily that's growing here by this Ophilopogon and this, so some nice colors happening. If I could duplicate this 100 times in here, that'd be amazing. This seedling hellebore is also still blooming. It's a little different than the parent. It's not a double, it's a single, but it has this really nice purple edge. Nice simple flower. And these plume poppies are growing. So it's definitely a survival of the fittest of these mega perennials here. I've also cut back a lot of these hellebores. They were really floppy. Tim, get out of there. And it's mostly nice to have their foliage this time of year. But anyways, also the ajuga is blooming here. And this cool composite, I can't remember the name of. And the Fargesia is finally looking good-ish, okay. Not my favorite bamboo, but it's the one you get to look at every day up here for some reason. A free plant is always a great plant. So anyways, this is that rubus. I transplanted it, divided it, and it kind of lost all its leaves. But I think it'll grow quite well with some attention this year. It was really outcompeted by grass, amongst other things, in this little chaotic zone here. Here's some of the greens. This is can never remember this. Mizuna, Japanese winter green. Spring green here, I guess. That's growing around nicely. Gave it a little fertilizer. This should be quite fertile anyways though, but you know, more is always better. Here in the patio, things are finally waking up again too. Done a bit of editing in here. You know, when you look at a garden long enough, it starts to look like everything's planted in a line, so I got a little chaotic with it. So hopefully that will do good. We have this fig that I'll probably poison. It keeps on sprouting back. Ithaca never did anything here good. This is that Philadelphus I've been hemming and hawing over all winter since I got it last August. I've also transplanted a few of these stipa here. They're a bit tricky sometimes to transplant, but I think they look healthy, a few of them. So I got 3 of them in here. Here's a nice line, as I was saying earlier. I've also planted a lily, and I've also planted some amaryllis in here, which I've never experimented with. But we see how they do. It's some good drainage here. The oreganum is also coming back. This was transplanted from these containers last year. So that's nice to see. This plant, oh, where's the tag? This is Osmanthus decorus. And I put it here, well, to have something evergreen. But it also looks quite similar in morphology to this, so that'll be nice. And it will be blooming earlier in the spring here, before the Philadelphus over there, which will be super fragrant. This is a bit earlier, so we're stacking the fragrances. What else is going on? I have a bunch of random daffodils I've acquired over the years from friends. Here's a nice one, nice gold one here. And also, something very funny. Eryngium, Miss Wilmot's ghost, has spread everywhere, which is kind of nice. Not a bad thing to spread everywhere. There are some other things that are waking up that was interesting to see. Here's a lovely, lovely daffodil. hidden away. The red bud will bloom. I'm leaving in a week or so, so maybe I won't be able to see that in all its glory. But that's the West Coast one. Also, I'm trying a few grapes for some fall color. That's Vitis Rogers Red. It's a California grape, Vitis californica. The transplanted Buddleia globosa is doing great, so that will be blooming this year, certainly. Some more of these lovely daffodils. And stuff's sort of chugging along here. I need to do a lot more work here. But California bays are all pretty much done flowering. Hopefully they'll have some fruit this year. They're all synced up, which is exciting. The ribes are coming back. This unsightly ceanothus is limping along, and so is this Garrya. And this poor madrone is leafing out. So hopefully that winter burn will go away. Don't know why there's so much fungus going on anyways, or fungus or winter burn. Moving along to the backside here. This is definitely needing to be resolved this year. So it's an old Truskea that is definitely gone. This ribes hybrid probably is doing quite nice. Hydrangea aspera is also leafing out. Oh, I did not see this. This will be exciting. This is Quercus glauca. Very beautiful bronze foliage. Pairs nicely with that. This thing never gets any water, and will definitely appreciate a little more sunshine. Also, there's just a field of Dicentra back here, which is nice. Let them bloom and seed and then start mowing this again. It's a field of blackberries normally. Also really fun. The native delphinium. Not to bloom yet, but definitely putting on the show this year. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. Not much blooming or doing much down here other than the Dicentra. But things are leafing out. The oaks are just starting to bud out. I think that Quercus callagii is starting to leaf out or bud up. This Acer sempervirens is also, get that in focus for you. Not doing it. But that's leafing out. Aronia. Also the Aesculus californica is leafing out, which is exciting. There's the largest bay tree. But that's pretty much it. It's nice to see the Pinus sabiniana also sending out their candelabras. That's a mouthful. Anyways, and also a couple ribes. It wouldn't be the Pacific Northwest without a couple native ones, native-ish. Heard a lot of those ones. These ones came from a native plant organization. And I was just told this weekend that a lot of them have California genetics, but I don't care. Because they look nice. But that one in the back is definitely the nicest red. That's it's an okay pink. And Sean's white is also a favorite, but not with the hummingbirds. Anyways, that's just a real quick down and dirty tour. A lot of stuff still coming up. And yeah, oh, I made a big gap in here. So yeah, this blue porcelain manzanita, I don't know if it's because I trimmed it at a poor time or if it was the cold, but it really died back, so I cut it back because it was not looking good, as in dead. Also, this cool berberis is starting to form blooms, or buds for blooming, rather. And I'll leave you with the promises of an acorn. This Quercus vexnifolia is producing some acorns. I probably need a couple more to get it happy. Also, this Ceanothus cuneatus is exploding right here. It's looking pretty happy. And that's about it.